As you know, on this platform, we're a community. No one's right, no one's wrong. We welcome conversation. So when I asked you lot this question, I must admit I was shocked by the results and where you lot actually voted, people. I guess you guys have revealed what you potentially consider your concerns or what could cost Arsenal a Premier League title. Big up to the 297 of you who took part in the YouTube community tabs. I'm trying to make this kind of content, so make sure you're participating, people. Trying to give you lot what you want. But I asked 297 of you Arsenal fans, what worries you most at this moment in time heading into next season, bearing in mind it is July? And the results wasn't exactly what I expected. Again, if we go and scroll down, people, it makes it crazy, if I'm completely honest with you. Now, when I look at it, I gave you lot four options, as you can see on screen. 41% of you went with injuries. Rivals improving, 23% of you voted for that. Superstar spending, obviously the £100 million men that we're seeing in the market, those level raisers, those game changers, scored 18%. Tactical predictability also scored 18%, which for me is a bit, that would be my one, really. In fact, I know what mine are, but before I offer my thoughts, let me see what you lot are saying. I am surprised injuries won. I'm not, because obviously that's been a theme in the world at this moment. I think it's an underrated theme of Arsenal last season, in that a lot of our players put their bodies on the line. We obviously knew it was a ticking time bomb where Saliba's concerned. If he never got injured in the World Cup, it would have happened at certain other points. And again, you're even seeing rumours around Saka might need surgery. But, the Sakas, the Rices, the Salibas, the Gabriel Magalhães, the Kai Havertzes, there's a couple of players that unfortunately are sure bets to get injuries. That's my thing. I'm concerned about the spine of the squad. And obviously, we need depth, we need improvement. It's a twofold. The one commonality is transfers, right? Obviously, for me, I think we need level raisers, but also think we need players that in an ideal world, like for like quality. But I can't expect the club to find another Declan Rice. If these players are not there and our spine is out, our season's derailed, bro, if I'm completely honest with you. It's as simple as that. So naturally, we dealt with injuries last season. Everyone put their bodies on the line. I mean, the year before that we had injuries. But yeah, man, I think, when we're at our best and everyone's fit, we're not perfect, but we can give everyone a game. But the repeated absences of the Salibas, the Gabriels, the Bukayo Sakas, the Rices, the Odegaards, go through the whole squad last season who wasn't injured. It's part and parcel. People getting injured is like a chef cutting their hand. But again, that doesn't fill you with optimism. Rivals improving. Now, obviously, everyone's going to improve, us the same. There's a lot of, I think it's going to be interesting. I've previously said on this platform, I believe the excitement starts when Pep Guardiola leaves. I look at Manchester City, they're still going to be up there. But I don't know what Maresca's going to look like. I don't know what Man United and Carrick are going to look like. I actually think Spurs are an outsider to get top four. I think De Zerbi's going to get their ship in order. But I don't know what to expect from them. Areola's shown at Bournemouth how good he is. Liverpool have a good squad. Obviously, they need to bring in certain players and do other things. But, you look at Liverpool last season, weren't a good attacking side, weren't a good defensive side. Midfield don't know what's going on. Arnie Slot couldn't do that. Respectfully, won a Premier League trophy for them. Areola, I think, will get their ship in order. Chelsea, I do get the vibes of Jabi Alonso in like a Mikel Arteta 2019. And I do think their project is too big to fail eventually at some point. But that can give you cause for concern because you're seeing what's going on in the market, all of those kind of things. That can give you cause for confidence because we know what we're getting with Arsenal. There's an element of the unknown. So it depends where you draw it. People always going to improve. We need to improve. For me, our quote unquote improvements are, staggered and layered and things. I think Mikel Arteta buying attackers, like I said last summer, is one thing. Platforming them in the right way is another. So that's something on Arteta. He needs to evolve us in an attacking sense, put the handbrake down, maybe play a bit more entertaining football. Keep everything we're doing defensively. That's my difference. Everything we do defensively, from the front to the back, keep that, take it to another level. But obviously, platform our players in the best way because, like I said it last year, there's no guarantee that Eze and Gyökeres, you just slap them on the pitch, they're going to do the best things. I know football is removed. The ball is in play a lot less in the Premier League. It's systemic football. There's all mid and low blocks. I ain't got the answers, but we've been known for a couple of years, low blocks. Again, we've been wanting to marry how good we are defensively with maybe the 2022-23 attacking style of play, and Bob would be your uncle. So I would say it's a twofold. I think tactically it's got to improve. I think clearly recruitment, and I think the players. Now, some of it's been injuries and things, but last season, our attacking players, you all had your moments, but it wasn't your best individual season. Most memorable, 100%, because you won a Premier League trophy. But That's my thing now. Now there's all different variables, but if we get Saka back up to his best, if we get Eze, showing more, of his quality throughout a season, Gyökeres the same. Whether I rate him or not, the Kais, the Nonnies, the Martinellis, the whole attacking unit, individually, they all need to stand up to be counted and do their part away from the manager, and things of that ilk. So yeah, man, injuries one, naturally they're gonna win. And as much as I want to crash out in that it's the 24th of July, we're pursuing a Julian Alvarez that has us as second choice. You build up the Morgan Rogers thing, it never happened. Very pessimistic on Bruno Guimaraes. The one thing that will make me crash out, or I'd rather crash out, on how I feel about, the spine of our squad going into the next season. Bearing in mind, the last 2 years have seen a lot of football. People have been playing for their countries. Obviously, you're playing 70 odd games for club and country. You're playing 50 odd if we're competing on all fronts. There's been a World Cup, and there will be a knock-on effect, not just for us, but several clubs. Superstar money. Fans want statement players, but transfer fees don't guarantee output. The real question is whether Arsenal have brought enough quality that can contribute immediately, which I like Zolis. I think people are going to be a bit unfair to Zolis because, if you sign these blockbusters that we want in addition to Zolis, it looks a lot different. At this moment in time, we've got him, we've completed the permanent signing of Hincapié, and we've got a second choice, third choice, arguably goalkeeper in Millier. Doesn't fill you with optimism considering how Arteta was speaking, what we believe on Berta, and how Josh Kroenke was speaking, and in terms of wanting to win the Premier League. It's not over to the fat lady sings, the window isn't closed, but there's obviously that. But I do think we're at that stage where maybe you can throw a statement signing out there. We should have moved a bit more proactive when we could have wrapped up Rodgers for 80 to 100 million. We left the door open. You snooze, you lose. Chelsea hijacked. Other deals had a knock-on effect on what we're doing. So there's lessons learned there. But for argument's sake, do I think I would have paid 117 million for Rodgers? No. But if you really do believe in his quality and he does the business, that 17 million could win you some silverware or play his part. And also, this is where sales. Obviously, we need players to go, but this is where we need to pick primarily young players that can progress to the first team, or, them players you get in 1 year, you might get them for 2 million. They're not quite good enough to break in. Other teams want them. That £2 million players now rated at 20, 30, 40 player trading. Obviously, if you do that a couple of times, that could have been the difference. And we could have sat there and said, you know what? We don't really think Rodgers is worth 117 mil, but we can offset the costs and do whatever. And I know I'm being a bit naive and silly with this year, but one thing with my football club that I think I see, no disrespect to Noni Madueke at 50 million or Kai Havertz at 65 million. Yeah, because Kai has actually worked out. Noni, it is what it is with him, innit? But when it's them kind of signings, you don't hear the language over maximum valuation. We're not prepared to do this and that. When it's the players, you can see the evident quality. We do have to have that, people. So yeah, I understand why that got 18%. Going back to tactical predictability or needing to evolve, at times, again, we need to find a way to break down low blocks, because I don't feel the fine margin. I don't even think it's an approach, but the kind of fine margins we're doing, dominating possession, logical approach, 9 times out of 10, if we've dominated possession, had more shots and all of that, we should score. But sometimes it's too slow, it's too rehearsed. We need to move the ball quicker. And again, I think the players have got to do it as well. But I think there's certain things that Mikel Arteta can do tactically well to give us that, if I'm honest with you. So I guess I hear it, man. The poll for me is right. And I was shocked, but the poll's right. Arsenal's biggest problem isn't whether we possess enough talent. It's whether our best talent stays available, whether we can bring in talent that's better and take it to another level after strengthening the squad. And injuries can't become the automatic excuse again. So to which I want to ask you another one. Would you still choose injuries, or has the transfer window changed your answer? I know we ain't bought anyone, but let me know your thoughts.